Boom. No, we are now.
Said we're on
Yeah,
stage.
sorry. How you doing, man?
Hi everyone. Welcome back to Table
Good,
for
good, good.
7 billion. We are here. I'm in my studio. Olive is in his studio. We try to keep we try to keep a couple miles between us at all times. It's sort of a restraining order.
It works though.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
um,
we like each other.
yeah.
Far away, right?
So we're here to talk about food. One of my favorite subjects. Something I eat pretty much every day. Don't you? Sometimes more than once.
Twice a day, 3 times a day. No, two. Actually, I eat two, like what, twice a day, I would say.
Yeah. I have a very strict routine though. I never eat when I'm sleeping, and I stick to that. And I think it's a healthy way to live.
Right.
So I read an article
Ah,
today online that I
oh
just
no,
happened
no,
to
no, no.
notice.
Don't do that.
Yeah, I know I never should, but it was interesting because it was about canola oil,
Right.
and it didn't really say much. It was really more about. Uh, I think the gist of the article was most people don't know where canola oil comes from, and so they were telling you that
Right.
it's a huge product for Canada because they grow most of the rapeseed, which is where canola oil is from, and it's originally from India, but it someone figured out that rapeseed grows particularly well in Canada, so they started growing it up there, and now it's a
Yep.
ginormous crop for the country. And they used to use it for all kinds of things, and now primarily it's used to make canola oil. And apparently, canola oil in its early form was used more for engines than for food because it's a really good lubricant apparently. So they would use it in truck engines and stuff
Right.
during the
Exact.
war.
Exactly. Do you understand that? It's that was for the mechanical oil.
Right, right.
Let's not forget that part.
And then someone figured out that they could cook with it, and so in fact, the name has to do with Canadian low erucic acid from Canada, um, or something like that. Canadian low acid oil. So anyway, it's a kind of an acronym, canola, and
Yeah.
it's
Right.
become increasingly popular in the United States. Why? Because it is one of the oils that has the lowest saturated fat, and that's what we're going to
Which is
discuss.
bad. Which is
Right.
bad for you.
Well, it's a result of people being thoroughly brainwashed by the
Yeah.
low fat people that they've
Yeah.
so
No.
convinced the
It is
American
enough.
population that fat is bad for you, so that any way you can remove fat from your diet, people think is a good thing and a healthy
Let, let
thing.
me
And we
let me tell you
believe that the
something.
reverse is true.
Yeah. So far, this is what we had for the last 50 or 80 years. Okay. Smoking is good for you. Salt is bad for you. Fat is bad for you. Sugar is good for you.
Yeah.
Fake food is good for you. No, seriously. Stop listening to these people. They are not going into your interest. I promise you. You need to go back to traditional, the old way. That's why we were eating saturated fat, salt, good food, meat, anything you want, vegetables, all the good stuff. Remove
Lots of
yourself from
vegetables.
listening to the doctors. They don't know. I'm sorry, I love doctors, but they don't know. They don't know nutrition at all. They are not trained for that at all, and they're just trying to tell them what the FDA tell them. That's all. They're just basically telling you what they hear. They have no concept of food, none. Look at them. I mean, seriously, like ask her. I said, look, when next time you go, I want to see your metabolic health before you judge mine. I
Right.
want to see that. Like, don't like come out with those things. And canola is one of those. Again, it's a processed oil. It's new. Everything that's new, in my opinion, and fake and processed is bad. So for me, it's the opposite. Salt is good. Fat is good. Smoking is not good, except a couple of things that we smoke, chef. And meat is good. You see?
Right.
And they're gonna keep telling you something is bad because when you say that, you understand that they make tons of money of it. It's always money.
Sure.
So always think about this. Do not listen to these people. You're gonna get sick. again and again and again. Those are the same people who told you that you could smoke, that you remove the fat and remove the salt and add sugar. Those are the same exact people, the same people. Stop doing that. I mean, what? Like, canola is the same. It's an unsaturated fat. So if you want me to explain why, then I will. All right.
Well,
So
it's just
go.
astounding to me how people have been swayed by all this. I mean, if you ask the most people in this country, if you go up and say, "Well, what do you think is a healthy diet?" They would say, "Oh, well, I try to eat low fat and lots of,
Yeah.
low
No,
fat
no.
meats. I take the skin and the bones out of the chicken."
I mean,
Um,
you know that Cheerios is good for you. That's what it says on the box, and it's recommended
right.
by the Heart Association. Are you kidding? This is sugar. This is sugar. It is just makes so much like it doesn't make sense at all. It's just incredible, and people just grab it because it's so easy. You just
Well,
put
because
milk
it's
in there, some
oats.
crappy milk. It's easy. You just eat it, and you feel good because they told you. It's bad. It's terrible.
Well,
Egg is
it's because
million
it's
times better.
oats, and oats were one of the
So
magic bullets, just like bran. Remember in the 80s when people discovered bran
right
muffins? If
from
you ate a
Mr.
bran
Kellogg.
muffin every day, you'd be healthy and you'd have low cholesterol and
You know, guys, if
all
you're
of that.
interested in science, it's all there. Huh? The science is all there. So if it takes, a little bit of time, but it's all there. It's not like I'm coming out with those crazy stuff. It's all in there. This is very traditional. Also, when you eat canola oil and all this unsaturated fat, you replenish your cell membrane with the wrong type of fat. You don't want that.
Right.
Yep.
So what kind of oil
Anyway,
should people use?
all animal fats are the least dangerous, and then you have uh, olive oil, and then you have avocado oil, the real avocado oil. Most of them are fake. Just remember that.
Right.
Then you have coconut oil, which is absolutely fantastic. Coconut is really, really a very special oil to my point. And then we have rice bran, the one we use, rice bran oil. Okay. And of course, you can use walnut oil when it's fresh pressed, just fresh pressed, right? You smell it.
Right.
The problem with those oil, they oxidize really fast. This is the thing. It's not the oil itself; it's the oxidation. The oil is great, but they oxidize. Once it
Right.
oxidizes, it's bad for you. And it oxidizes really quickly because it's an unsaturated fat. It is not saturated. Oxygen can go and do damage in there. A
Right.
saturated fat, oxygen cannot break it. It
That's why
cannot
when
be
you buy
oxidized.
something like walnut oil, you should buy it in small amounts. You should buy it preferably in a tin and
Yeah,
use it up as
and keep it
quickly
in
as
the
you
fridge.
can. That's why the La Touraine
Yeah, la Tourangelle.
oils are so good because
Yeah,
they do make small cans. Everything's in a tin, so it doesn't get light
right.
into it, which is bad
No,
for any oil.
James. So basically, yeah. Let me rephrase that. It's good if you eat it right away. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I would not take a risk personally. I'm too happy with my health, and I love the way I feel, and I'm not going to change anything because it's working. But I can tell you that the fat that I eat is butter, bacon fat, stuff like this, right? I have no pain at all. I have no pain. I can bend entirely everywhere. There's no pain anywhere, right? Because I eat good fat that lubricate my joint. Everything is working, and I
Yeah,
eat
you need to keep
most.
your joints lubricated.
And if your joint hurt, you switch to pipe. That I've noticed it works better, right? But be careful with your diet, people. Just if you don't know, like most people are getting more and more confused. I completely understand that. Go back to the old times. That was not confusing because that's what everybody ate. Just go back to that. You see, that was easy, right? Before the doctor tell you could smoke cigarette and they tell you the best brand, the Camel is what doctors smoke. Remember that part. Remember, do not trust those people. Again,
Well,
I
it's
love,
interesting
I,
to
you know, I
note
work, I
that.
work with them, but I'm telling you, the nutrition part, no, they can do all the work, fix. Doctors have a lot to work already, so leave the nutrition alone, please.
Well, it's
Right?
interesting to note that most medical schools don't even offer nutrition classes, and it's not required even when they do. So most doctors never
They have
study
sent
nutrition, and yet they have the gall to tell you, what foods
eat
you
that and
shouldn't
eat
eat.
this. Don't eat that and eat this. This is incredible, incredible. And then you go to the hospital and you look at the crap that they serve, and you're like, in what world are we living in?
Yeah,
I mean, are you serious? You tell me to eat that, and then you serve those apple juice to people with cancer. Oh my God. It's like, it makes no sense. Nothing makes sense. Just go back to traditional. My grandmother, in my case, I'm lucky because my grandmother was very, she comes from Auvergne in France, and they were cooking everything in season, just like my mom and my aunts, right? So I'm fortunate to have learned that. And this is what I'm trying to teach people. You know, eat the good food, the basic food, all those beautiful vegetables, the beautiful meat, the chicken, the fat, the butter, the eggs, the cheese, the nuts, all the good stuff, as healthy as good quality as you can, right?
right.
Other than that,
And also
nothing to worry.
stop
Just
with
eat
the
whatever.
s- stop with the juice already.
Yeah.
People think they're being so healthy because they choose orange juice instead of soda. And in my mind,
Yeah.
they're no different.
Not done it even.
It's a glass of sugar water.
Yeah.
If you want to eat an orange, eat an orange. But
Jimbo, I got something today. I
yeah,
wanted to show people how to cook something very easy. I got a bunch of stuff that was in the fridge for the weekend. I didn't cook it. And I want to show people not to be afraid of stuff that don't look perfect, right?
right.
I got it a few days ago. They don't look perfect, but I'm going to actually cook it. And I have also some shrimps. So I really want to show you that because it's pretty cool. And
Hey, I don't look perfect either, but
yeah, we had a discussion with your wife about this. She says she's happy because she's getting blind. Do you know that? Eh, can't see that much. And she said, no, no, let me not get glasses. It's much happier this way. All right, so I have a couple of things, guys, that I'm gonna show you. It's not doesn't look great, but see, I go in my fridge and I can do a tray bake in like 20 minutes. I can make a meal, and I've been doing a lot of those. And Jim, can you talk about these? Those are great. I just got this carbon pan,
yeah, carbon steel.
really cool. It's the thin one, it's the not the cast iron, right?
Right. No, it's different than cast iron. Cast iron is, well, we've talked about
So
this before, but
before you talk about this, I just want to tell people what I'm doing so you can talk about this while I'm
okay.
preparing stuff, right?
Okay.
So basically, this is my tray bake, right? It could be a tray or this, whatever goes in the oven, right? It doesn't matter, right?
Right.
This is kind of a tray bake, same idea, right? And this is what I'm gonna work with, all this stuff.
Could be a roasting pan too,
So
like you do the
yeah,
turkey in.
exactly, right? So I have this halfway cut butternut. We're gonna do something. I have an old bit, not too old, but look at this old fennel. I'm gonna clean it up, make it really pretty. Big onion. I found those onions in the. This is not what it says. Okay, this is not what it says. This is an onion. Peas. Delicata. Bunch of old herbs I kept. Mushroom and feta. What can we do with that, chef? What can we do? And then shrimps, bacon, little bit of garlic. Uh, my shrimps in the shell, always in the shell. And I got some chicken thigh without the skin. Usually I get the skin, but today that's what it was. I found that in the fridge, right, from the weekend. I had a big weekend. What can we do? Let's say I don't want to cook at all. Zero. Well, I'm just gonna
That's
slice
what
stuff.
ovens are for.
Yes, totally. We're gonna do a tray bake, okay? So I need to cook my chicken without the skin and the bone. That means my chicken has to cook for 18 minutes, maybe 20 minutes max, right?
Yeah, not very long.
15, 20 minutes, right? 15, 20 minutes. So I have to cut my vegetables super thin. So in 15, 20 minutes, everything is done. Otherwise, I have to start with the veggies, which I don't really like to do that. I like to be done. Thing goes
Right.
bye-bye, right? So I'm gonna start cutting stuff for my tray bake. Will you please talk about the tray? I mean the
The pan. Yeah.
the pan.
Well, we have talked about this before, but I'll
Please.
go over it again.
And
cast
you guys,
iron.
I'm just gonna cut stuff, and I can explain to you later. Don't worry about this.
Okay.
So I'm removing the outer part, but yeah. Okay, go. Sorry.
Well, as the name suggests, cast iron is cast. It's they take the molten iron, they pour it into forms, and they let it cool, and it becomes a pan. Cast iron's great to cook with, but it's
Okay, so this is different made, right? So this is
this
what's the
the one
difference?
you showed is different.
Okay.
So the one Olivier has there is a carbon steel pan, and it's steel, not cast iron. So in other words, it's made into a big sheet and it's pounded out into it's pressed
Oh yeah. Okay. Okay.
pressed in a machine into that shape. So the difference is cast iron is very, very porous. And both these pans need to be seasoned, although more and more these types of pans are sold pre-seasoned. I think
My
yours was
case.
pre-seasoned, right?
Yes, it says pre-season. I didn't. I mean, I kind of know what it means, but yes. Okay. Good.
It means they do the work for you. In the old
Right.
days, you always had to season your pan, which meant
Right.
heating it to a high temperature and covering, coating it
Right.
with oil and letting it sit there and let that oil bake into the surface and so that it protects it, because these pans aren't like stainless steel. They will rust, they will discolor. So you
Right.
have to use them carefully, and if you season them properly, then they almost become like a non-stick pan,
Yes. Right. Right. Right.
and they won't rust as easily. You still have to be somewhat careful. You don't put them in the dishwasher.
Right.
Uh, you don't leave them soak forever. But but like I said, most companies now are seasoning the pans at the factory, which is really easy for them to do because they have the big ovens and they can just do it. And so when you buy it, you don't have to fool around with that. I
Okay.
still continue to season them, and as you use them, you are seasoning them even more. What I
Okay.
like to do with a new cast iron pan or a black steel pan is the first thing I do is I cook some bacon, and
Oh
that
yeah.
fat gets in
Oh,
there, and it's a really great way to
nice.
season the pan.
Look
Um,
at my trick to get all this clean.
oh yeah.
Quick, quick, quick. You don't have to do that, guys. You can do it after or not. But this is.
Now the other difference between cast iron and black steel is black steel is a much faster conductor of heat, so it heats up
Which
pretty
one? Which
fast,
one?
and the black steel, the one you have there.
Oh, okay. Great, great,
So
great.
it heats up quickly, it cools off quickly because the heat just goes through and just dissipates. So
So it's a
it
high heat conductor.
right, right. So the heat goes through it very fast. So if you keep it on the heat, it'll stay hot. But once you remove it from the heat or you turn the heat down, it's going to cool.
Great.
Cast iron is the opposite. Cast iron is a very slow conductor of
Oh
heat.
yeah. Okay. Nice.
So it takes a while to heat it up, but once you get it hot, if you take a cast iron pan off the fire, your food's going to continue to cook as though it's at full heat because it's still so hot and it's going to
It
take a
retained a
long
lot of
time to
temperature,
cool off.
right?
And anybody that's ever, touched a cast iron pot after it's been off the fire for a long time knows that it's still really, really hot. So if you're cooking something and you want to stop the cooking process with cast iron, you need to take it out of the pan. Otherwise, it's going to keep cooking for a long time.
Right.
The other nice thing about your pan is it's a little bit lighter weight, so it's a lot easier for some people to handle. It's a lot easier to do saute motions with. Cast iron is heavy. I've given cast iron to people. I gave some to both my stepdaughters, and they don't really like
Oh
to
yeah.
use it
Right. Right.
because
Right.
it's too heavy for them.
It's heavy. It is heavy.
Yeah, Zazu has problems with her wrists and stuff, and she just can't handle
Oh
a big
shit.
cast iron pot.
Wow. Okay. All right. So now I kind of have a big tray with stuff, right? That's it. Look,
Right?
super easy, right? So this at this size, right? It will cook for what, 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah.
So I could cook a fish in there. I could put my shrimps, but I could put my chicken. It's gonna be perfect. So
Yeah.
I could do onions with that, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna show you how to do onions. For the onions, for this, I'm gonna cut them in. Let's see what. Let's do the circles. How do you call those? The the
Rings.
rings. Ring. Thank you. Oh my God, this one is so juicy. So let's do some rings. Yeah. So rings, just like that. See? Easy, right?
Yep.
Wow, look at that. I'm gonna have my dinner ready in about, what, 10 minutes. Put that on top, everywhere.
Yeah, you have to remember that onions are a vegetable. They're not just a flavoring agent. They're
Oh, they're
they're
really
good
good.
food. They're
It's
good for
one
you.
of
They're good.
it's one of the best prebiotic that exists, by the way. Look at this, so cool, huh? Look at that.
Yeah.
So you know what? I might cook those vegetables first. You see,
Yeah,
I'm
I
going
would.
as I go, right? To give it a
Yeah.
little bit. So, right? Let's clean that, chef. Let's clean that horrible phenol. Phenol is really good, but it's this one is a little bit old, but I can save it, right? That's not what I do in my school. This is what I do for my, when I have a bunch of stuff, I make a stew after. So let's see how far this one is. This one is not pretty at all. So let's see how far I can go. I don't think I can go far with this guy. So let's see. I'm gonna carry him two and see what's happening. I have to peel a lot, so I have to remove a lot. That's okay. Let's see how much. Yep, I have to remove a lot. Okay, but I still have a tiny bit that I can use. All right,
Yeah. That's
whatever,
still
right?
that's still a good deal.
Okay, so let's see. The
The
other one is
rest
gonna
goes
be
in the
better.
compost.
Yeah, that's compost. Okay, that's good. Right? I keep this is not good. I don't like it. All right, so here. A couple of tablespoons. This one, much more, right? Oh yeah, pretty clean. So right now I'm gonna remove immediately. I'm gonna remove that guy, right?
Uh-huh.
Which is the root. Anything that's not pretty, so the outer. Actually, that's not so bad. Let's get a big chunk of that. That looks pretty good. All right.
That's a great
Look
snack
at that.
too. I
Oh
love
yeah.
to munch on fennel when we're cooking.
Okay. Again, remove all this stuff that needs to go. Then my root, and then let's shave that. Great, look at this. Wow, this is clean, huh? Look at this.
Yeah, that's
Beautiful,
nice.
right?
Yep.
You know what? I'm gonna start my veggies first.
Yeah, I would. I would get him in there.
And yep, and I'll do because I'm putting much more people, so I don't know how long it's gonna take. So my chicken is gonna go for sure 12 minutes to 15 minutes. That might be a little more because I keep piling the stuff, right?
Right.
Otherwise, I'll put it in two trays. But I want to do easy. How about those mushroom? That could be cool, right?
Yeah.
Let's do that. Kind of big pieces, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Mushrooms add really nice texture to a dish, I think.
Yeah, it's really good also. So much stuff in the mushroom. I really like mushrooms. It's one of my favorite vegetables.
Mushrooms are
Okay.
interesting because they are kind of the foundation of life on this planet. I mean, if it weren't for mushrooms and fungi that grow in the earth,
Yeah,
I mean, they do so many things for us.
for the plants especially.
Yeah.
So looks good. What else? That's good. Couple of garlic in there. Sure. So for the garlic, I'm just going to remove the root and I'm going to rough chop. That's it. Actually, I'm going to slice them in two. That's going to be easier. Okay? And that's going to go in the oven at this one. We're going to go at 400 with temperature. And then I'm going to do my chicken on another tray. I'm going to show you how super easy that is. So you see I'm cutting those just like that, right?
Mm-hmm. That's going to add a nice sweetness to the dish too.
So yeah, it's going to be nice.
And they caramelize a little bit.
Yep. All right, done. Now, okay,
So once again, all the work in this dish is in the little bit of prep you do ahead of time, which, as
yeah,
anyone can see, is very easy, very simple.
which is done,
Simple
right?
cuts. You're not doing anything super sophisticated. And this is where
No.
all the work is, because once it goes into the oven, you're done.
Yep, that's it, right? So,
You don't have to stand at the stove, and you don't have to flip and saute
all
and
right,
check. And
let's see how we're gonna do that. All right, so we have this tray, right, with a bunch of stuff in there. So it's pretty big. You see this thickness. So that
Mhm.
means it's not gonna take. It's gonna be a little longer. I'm sorry. Yeah, love chicken wrapped in bacon. Oh yeah, man.
I like just about anything wrapped in bacon.
You know what? That's exactly what I'm gonna do. Good idea. There you go. Boom. I don't know who that is, but that's it. We're gonna do that. All right. So here, I need salt. Right. That's my first salt. So little, not too little. Okay. Because again, salt is good for you.
Well, and that's a
I
lot of
promise
food.
you, people, that's a really good salt from Redmond Lake in Utah. Okay. And just trust me. Don't trust people that are trying to sell you stuff. Trust people that don't have any interest. Like I don't have any interest. I don't sell stuff. My only thing I sell is Reboot, my drink. And people ask me, drink. Yeah, the drink is great. It's gonna make you healthy if you eat well. Not the drink. My drink is gonna help, but it's not gonna miraculously make you healthy if you eat crappy food. That's not gonna happen. Oven is going 425. I'm gonna go pretty quick for start. So all I did is salt, right? So let's put some herbs. So remember those herbs I keep, right?
Yeah.
I buy them fresh, and then I leave them in that bowl, right? And I can use them anytime I want. So let's do rosemary. That's good. Look at this. So all I need to do is break them now, right?
It's so much easier to do when it's dried because it just
Yeah,
crumbles right off the
yeah, I know, right?
stem.
This is oregano. This is thyme, whatever, right? Whatever's in the bowl. I'm gonna take
Also,
all this.
a lot of herbs really the flavor really concentrates when they dry.
Well, yeah, because the water's gone, so
Right.
it's all there, right? And as I'm putting those things, I can smell those really cool stuff. All right. So take the branch away, right? And look at this. So now it's pretty tough, guys. Don't put that like this. You're gonna need to either chop it, if you can. Now it's dry, so it's gonna go everywhere. So you can do it with your hand. See if I go with my knife, I can try. Actually, that's not so bad. But you see, it goes kind of like goes everywhere.
Yeah. It's like
Okay.
tiddlywinks. It goes
Yeah.
flying.
Okay. Fine. It's actually not too bad. Yeah, it goes everywhere. So next thing is this. Get that. Get something like this, right? That's my salt. Let me put my salt away.
You could leave a little salt in. It helps with the
Oh yeah, actually,
herbs.
great idea. See, James, you're not that stupid, right?
Not as stupid as I look.
Wow, that smells good.
Yeah.
Oh my god. And this is
Yeah.
fresh. So it's fresher than anything. Why? I just released the oil just right now. You see
Right.
what I mean? This is what's important. I don't know who wrote that, but I can tell
What?
you everything
Everything.
began from the kitchen and ends in the kitchen, right?
Yeah.
Or should we say end in the bedroom? I don't know. Oh wow, that smells good. All right, cool. So now let's do this. All right, herbs. So all this. That's what 2-3 tablespoons, right? Bit generous. Wow, look at that. Oh my god. And oil, lots of oil. So this is where you get to be generous. Okay, I'm gonna
Now
put another.
that's a lot of food. So you could do that like on a Sunday afternoon,
Oh yeah.
and you could put that in the fridge, and you'd have tasty side dish for the whole week. Well, not maybe for the whole week. Depends on how many
For a
people
few
you're
days.
feeding.
I mean, if you have 4 people, this is gonna be done. There's a lot of
Yeah.
food in there. All right, that's gonna go in the oven, straight in the oven. Now, if I had chicken with bone and skin, that would go straight on it. Because by the time this is cooked, the chicken is cooked as well. This chicken has no bone, no skin, is gonna cook faster. So I'm gonna do a
Right.
different tray. So bye-bye. There we go. And actually, I want to do the chicken and bacon. That's, you know, love bacon. All right. For my, let me get a cutting board.
So bacon, of
Yeah,
course, is from the belly of the pig. It's
fantastic.
cured, which means they cure it with air and salt, and
Just
sometimes
like
with
in,
smoke. Most
just like,
American bacon is smoked.
just like in the old days. Remember
Yep,
that.
yep,
This is
yep.
traditional stuff. This is nothing new. It's what we used to do.
It's like they say on farms, if you eat fresh pork, if you kill a pig and eat it, you can eat really well for the day. But if you cure it all into sausages and hams,
Oh yeah,
bacon, then you have food for weeks and months.
yeah. All right. Let's get a bunch of
And bacon has so much it it's
superfood.
so great with food because it flavors food so much. Not only is it just good by itself, but it lets that fat get into other foods, so you're just sending flavor throughout the dish.
All right,
Nice.
make sure you have to do that. I have 3 pieces of chicken. 4. I can do 5. No, it's 4 is good. All right. So now my hands are dirty. So James, what's gonna happen is when I'm done, I'm gonna have to go wash my hand. I can't touch anything. Okay.
Yep.
So I can touch the salt. You see, that's what the
Yeah.
salt. Now it's already salted because of the bacon, but I'm gonna put a little tiny bit of salt to make sure, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna salt the whole chicken. Actually, all right, here we go. Look at that. Whoa, where's my tray? Oh, let's go in the pan. So I'm gonna put that into the pan, just like that. Cool.
Now you're also going to want to wash that cutting board when you're done and not
No,
use
I'm
it
washing
to.
everything, James. Knife
Yeah.
included. No, everything goes. So,
I've known people that have done that. They've cut up a raw chicken on a cutting board and then they used the
oh
same
my God.
cutting board to carve the chicken afterwards, and
Oh
they got
yeah.
sick and they didn't
Oh
understand
yeah.
why.
That is a bad idea. Okay.
It's also good to have a board that's sort of dedicated for meat. So if you're going to cut up chickens or things, you have a board that's kind of
Yeah.
dedicated to that.
I don't care personally because I wash my stuff really well with
I know, but
immediately. No, I know, but you're right. So that's one way to do it. Absolutely right.
also I don't really use the polyurethane boards very much, but I use them
Okay.
for raw meat.
Right.
And then I prefer wood just for regular chopping and prepping.
Let's do a double. Oh, my hands are. I can't do the cameras. Sorry, guys.
That's all right. We can see it.
This is too big. Ooh, look at that. Oh, ho, ho, ho. And maybe one more just on top of this, just like that. All right. So I need to go, people, wash my hands, get that board, and I'll be right back.
All right. Now you
And
notice
that
that
goes in. Yes.
that chicken all went in a cold pan with no
Yep.
oil because you got a lot of fat on the bacon. You don't have very much fat on the chicken because the skin's
Right.
been removed. There's no bone, so
Right.
it's pretty lean. But you've got the nice the nice bacon fat, and you can just
And you
start
know,
that in a cold pan. So
I
you could actually put that on the stove right now if you wanted to,
yep.
but in the oven's probably a little more
Well,
efficient.
so basically, remember we were talking about fat earlier, right?
Yeah,
So if I eat the chicken just like that without the fat, it's not very good for you. But if
and
you
it's
add the
not as
good fat,
flavorful either.
it's just the way it is. It's people are confused. You need fat and protein. Those are the two things you need. You understand that you don't need carbs. You can. It's fun, right? I like vegetables. I love salads. I love fruits, but you don't need them. So it's a fun thing. What you need is protein, number one, and then fat. That's it. Those are the two things you need for your body. Protein and fat. Remember that. Protein and fat. All right, look at this. Why is this camera not working? That's weird. I lost the camera. All right. That's great.
Well, we can all see, Olive, we
Look.
can all see how obese you are from eating
Oh,
all
good.
that fat and
Yeah, I
protein.
know, right? See, all the fat I'm eating. Look at this. All right, black pepper on this. How about some herbs? Why not, right?
Sure.
So this is whatever. I don't know what it is. Basil.
Yeah, I think it's marijuana. I think you just pulled a
Oh,
big
this one you have to
marijuana
smoke
bud.
it directly, no? Don't you? Don't you have to? Right? Ooh, that smells good. I don't know what that is. Oh, mint. Okay, fine, whatever. Ooh, that's gonna be good.
That's
What
the
else
thing
can I
about
put in
herbs. You
there?
really can't go wrong. People talk about, oh, well, this herb you use with this herb with that,
Why don't I put
but you really can't go wrong. Just use whatever
what?
herbs you have. I mean,
Yeah,
some
exactly.
things do go better with other things, but you don't have to sweat it too much.
Let's do this. Let's do the mushrooms in there also, right? I have all this stuff I need to cook. I need to cook those mushrooms. I need to cook those stuff because otherwise they're gonna go bad, right? But at least I
Right.
make a meal with that. So I'm just putting those mushrooms literally just like that.
And you don't
Pretty
want to
cool, huh?
waste food.
Yeah.
Food is too precious.
You guys, if
Especially
you're
when you're
missing
talking
some
about
of
meat. Especially when you're talking about an animal that gave up its life so that we can eat.
yes,
You don't want to waste it.
that is so true. You know, that's exactly the point, right? It's a respect. Should we put a couple of onions in there?
Sure. Yeah, it'd be delicious. The
You
more
see
the
that?
merrier, I
You
say.
see how cool that is? Huh? What do you think, guys? It's so beautiful, right?
It's going to be
Okay, one more
tasty.
chunk to go in the oven. Bye bye. So I don't think I have room. Oh yeah, I do. I just have to switch them around. So I have a small oven, people. Remember? Look at that. Oh shit! Wow, it smells really good already. Hey, that thing is going well, man. It's already smelling super good. Boom, oven. 10,
Nice.
15 minutes, everything done. Pretty cool, huh?
Yeah.
Let's do some shrimps.
Now, I just want to say again that
Yeah.
everything you're doing could be done on a free afternoon someday,
Yep.
and you've got food for several days. I mean,
Oh
you're
yeah.
going to have a nice
My
meal at
food is
the end of
done. That's
this.
right. Yeah.
You're going to have a nice meal right now, but you've got food for the rest of the week, and then you can do things with it. You can take that vegetable medley, and 2 days from now, when you're thinking about what to eat, well, just throw it into a big omelet. Make a big omelet in a pan full of all those yummy vegetables. Or if you're a pasta eater, you could throw it on pasta. But
Yeah.
and the chicken too. You can do things with the chicken. You don't have to just eat it the way it is. You can cut it up and
Let's
eat it
see.
cold on a salad. You can.
I have some bacon left over. I'm gonna get a new cutting board. I'm gonna chop that bacon, cook it with the shrimp. How about that?
Yeah.
I'm gonna do a 10-minute meal.
Now you always cook shrimp with the shells on.
Yeah, flavors.
What if you took the shells off, but then just put them in the pan and made kind of a stock with it? Like if you wanted to
Sure.
wrap the shrimp in
I
bacon.
think they dry too much. They don't taste really good. When you cook them, I'm gonna show you how to cook those. And actually, I'm gonna finish that thing, right? Let me show you something cool. I'm gonna start the bacon. Okay. I'm lucky because that bacon has a lot of fat. You see, sometimes
Mhm.
there's not enough fat. It's not good. All right. All right, James. I'm gonna go on medium heat, and I'm gonna right away put my bacon. I'm gonna start rendering the fat. I'm gonna cook those shrimps in there.
That is
So,
going to be tasty.
and actually, I'm gonna cook those onions with it. Why not? It's gonna be really good.
I can't think of a reason why not. What about peas?
I'm gonna put them after,
Yeah, those
once the
aren't going
shrimps
to
are
take
cooked.
very long.
Right. So you see, I've used all my food, and I have what? At least I have a whole week of food, James. I have my chickens, which I can cook more if I want for tomorrow. I can do eggs, like you said, right? I
Hmm.
have my shrimps. This is going to be done in literally 15 minutes. We're done. Everything is done, right? And that's it. So let's put that away again. Get rid of your, when I cut meat, even bacon, switch your stuff. Remove. Don't use them again. Garlic. Let's do a quick garlic.
Are you going to put any water in with the bacon like you usually do, or?
Not this time. We're going to do something else. You see, James, I started with cold pan, right? I mean, cold,
Yeah.
put the bacon, then go, and then, I'm sorry, my camera is not working. I don't know why, guys. I can't show you my, weird, huh? I'm lost the camera. You can see, right?
Yeah, we can see it.
Crazy. Seven minutes. In 7 minutes, we're gonna look at what's happening over there, right?
Hmm.
I'm gonna do a quick garlic quickly. Remove the end. Rough chop, right? I'm gonna put that really quickly. Okay. Now, to mince. I'm not gonna mince garlic. I'm gonna rough chop. So rough chop, literally, just a quick.
You know, when I used to sell kitchenware,
Yeah.
one of the things that I used to say we paid the rent with garlic presses, but it
Oh
was one of the
wow.
tools that I just hated. I
Oh my
just thought it
god.
was the stupidest thing.
Yeah, I don't
Uh,
care. Whatever they want to use is fine. So look,
yeah.
see that? Boom. Large chunk, big. Go in there. That's gonna smell really, really, really good. And we're
And
gonna
it tastes
remove the
really good
bacon. We're
too.
not gonna cook that. We're gonna remove the bacon at some point. It smells like super good. And then I'm gonna cook the shrimp and then add that back, the peas. Actually, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cook the peas in there. And then when I'm ready to eat, cook the shrimp, dump it in there.
Because the
How
shrimp
about that?
take 2 minutes.
Yeah, like 5 minutes maybe altogether, right?
Hmm. Shrimp cook really fast, and it's important not to overcook shrimp because they can
I'm
get
gonna
really
cook
dry
those.
and rubbery.
Yeah, right. And I'm gonna put the peas in there in a minute. Look at this bacon. Not very gentle, people. Really gentle heat. Huh? You don't want to burn the bacon. You want to render the oil. I don't have enough fat in there, so I'm gonna add a little bit of oil. Right? I need a little more oil. I like fat. You know that. Now,
Hmm.
you guys, if I eat fat, I don't eat carbs though. You see, there's no rice, no potatoes, none of that. Oh, right. I'm gonna cook also gentle so I don't destroy my olive oil I just put. So it's a gentle. I'm just like garlic smells really good. The onion are starting to smell really good. Look at that. Whoa. Okay. All right. Our meal is coming out in 5 minutes.
Nice. Hey, let's talk about something else that's a key component to good health,
Yeah.
and that is exercise.
Oh yeah.
And I have a lot of
Butter.
butter.
Yes,
Yeah, butter's
butter.
great. Yeah,
I
you
didn't
could
put
throw a
butter
knob
today,
of
but
butter in there, but I think olive oil is better with what you're doing. But you could use butter. I use a lot of
can use
butter.
both. Absolutely.
So I have this ongoing feud with the advertising industry, which guilts people into thinking that if they're not climbing a sheer face of a mountain or participating in extreme sports, that they're not getting enough exercise. And I mean, there's nothing wrong with those things. People that want to do extreme
Yeah.
sports and go to a gym 4 hours a day. I mean, if that's your thing and you like it, then fine. If you're into body sculpting and all that stuff, there's nothing wrong with it. But what people need to understand is it's just important to stay active. it's important to move your
Oh, yeah.
body and
Every day.
to every day to walk, to do things, to cook. Even cooking is exercise in a way. I mean, you don't go to a gym, do you?
No, I don't have time. I mean, it'd be
Yeah.
good. You know what I do? I do push-ups and I do how do you call those? This squat.
Squats.
Yeah. So I do
Yeah,
push-ups and squat.
I do a lot of push-ups, and I do some, stretching and twisting. But my biggest exercise is I walk a lot.
Oh yeah. So you guys, I'm going to show you what I do now. My bacon is a little bit colored. I'm going to dump my peas. Cook those in there. Okay.
Nice. Those are
I
little
know there's some
peas.
pieces of ice, whatever, right? The water's going to melt. I don't care. Just
Yeah, it
right.
doesn't matter at all.
And then let it sit in there, right? We're going to cook all these together. Look at like cool that is. Whoa. You can put little carrots also. Not
You
baby
put
carrots, huh? Not baby carrots. Don't do that. Please don't do that.
why?
Baby carrots are terrible. They are bleached. They are not baby cow. They are cow that they shave and they bleach them. No, 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 don't do that.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna put some spices. I had some spice blend that I made. Whatever spice, I don't care. Right?
Also, yeah, buy whole carrots. Carrots are so easy to prep that there's no reason to pay someone else to
Mm.
process your carrots for you.
Yeah, please. Ooh, that was a Moroccan blend. All right, I'm gonna cook that for until the water's gone. Then I'm gonna remove it, sear my shrimp really quickly. Done. All right, let's see what the other thing looks like. I think we're done. Pretty cool,
Could
huh?
be. Could be.
All right, let's see. All right, so let's see. The bacon, not yet, but it's about oops,
Oh yeah, that's
another
getting
10 minutes.
close.
All right. Because the water, there's a lot of water, which that means my bacon is going to be poached now. You see, water from the
Uh-huh.
mushroom and the onion, fine,
Yep.
whatever. It's fine. The other thing here is done. So this is done. Okay. Now I'm going to burn them more, right? They're cooked. You see, they're
Mm-hmm.
cooked. So you can have them done now. You can put some oil and serve it. But I'm going to burn them a little. But you see, they're done. So my
Yep.
meal is done again. I'm just I'm just gonna give it a little more browning. Or I can put my shrimps on it. What do you think?
You could do that.
Yeah, that's a great idea. Here, I'm gonna put my shrimps. They're not gonna be brown like I wanted to do. They're gonna be cooked perfectly, but I'm just showing you the easy stuff. Okay, this is super easy. So I'm gonna put my shrimps on top.
You could do some of each if you have enough shrimp.
I have a lot. And that's gonna go for 10 minutes. So I'm gonna raise my temperature oven to 425, maybe 450, actually 450. Pretty cool, huh?
Yeah.
Fun. Put my shrimpies on it. Look at that. Wow. Look at this meal, man.
You
I
could
need to
also
spice
do
them
that
up.
with
I need
you
to
could
spice.
do that with fish too. You could put pieces of
Well, that's the
salmon on
thing. Yeah,
there.
yeah,
You could
absolutely. Yeah.
cod, get
All
some
right.
nice
So here,
halibut.
look at this dish, man. Look at that. Oh wow, that's pretty cool. Sport on TV. Yeah.
I watch sport on TV.
Um,
What does that mean?
I don't know. He's watching sport. He's watching like a competition, or she. I don't know.
Oh,
Right. All right. That's it. The tray. I'm gonna shove my peas because they're done. All right. Look at this. Little salt. Remember the salt. Raise the temp. Oh, it is at 425. I'm going to go to 475. 475. I can't cook my chicken too much. Okay, chicken is 5 minutes. Okay, James.
I have my timer set.
This is done. This is done. I can use them. Wow, look at this. Pretty nice.
Now
Beautiful.
that would be fantastic to put into some eggs and make a Spanish style
Ooh,
tortilla.
I have no eggs. That's why it sucks.
That would be
But
so
see,
delicious.
I can put some feta cheese in there when I serve that, right?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
with the shrimp. So the shrimps are gonna go for 7 minutes, 5 to 7. The chicken is done in 5. I did a whole meal for the week in like what, half an hour with it. Oh, almost. That was fun.
Very nice.
I
Very
should do more.
nice.
I should do more cooking. Huh?
Yeah.
People like cooking stuff.
Maybe you could go to cooking school and learn some techniques.
I should open one. Was fun.
All right. So now, how are you going to pack
Fun.
up all those veggies? How would you store those? Just put them in a container and put them in the fridge, right?
Yeah, so you can portion them. So what I do when I do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I split them up, or you can leave them big. But if you portion them right away, it's much easier because then you just pull the thing. So you can have a salad with that. I can put that can be a meal. I can do a baked sweet potato or a couple of them if I want my carbs. A few sweet potatoes in there or potatoes. Potatoes are not bad at all. They just eat people eat too much of those. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's not like potatoes bad. It's not good. It's not bad at all. There's a lot of stuff in there. I don't eat it because it's a preference, right? I don't eat carbs much, but it's not bad. A little bit of carb is not bad at all. Okay, don't like freak out and stuff. It's just the too much of that. I need my protein and fat. That's number one. Once you
Yeah.
get that covered, you can eat whatever you want. It's fun. You can have candies if you want, a little bit. Like, you know what I mean? It's not a big deal. Not a big deal. That's the thing. A good, healthy body can know where the candy will go. A good
Right.
piece of chocolate would be better. Candies is not great, but like the chips, this is terrible food, but people eat chips, so what are you gonna do, right?
Yeah.
Chips is the worst thing you can do. Fried potatoes is really the worst thing. So once in a while, fine, absolutely fine. Seriously, I eat my burger, fries. I eat fries with it, right? And I eat the fried bacon and the fried egg. Yeah, because that's what I like, right? But I don't do
Yeah.
it every day.
So you know what that bacon dish would be great to do is sort of a take on a traditional frisee salad. Do a little
Oh,
frisee salad and put that on top with a poached egg.
oh yeah, oh yeah.
That would be so good. And you could
How
take a
about
little of that bacon fat and dress the salad with it with a little bit of vinegar, some either really good red wine vinegar or just lemon juice.
chicken is done? Shrimps are almost done. Look at that. Pretty cool, huh?
Yeah.
Cool. Look at this. All done. The juice we have here is from the onions and the mushrooms. If you don't want that, you just drain them first. I don't care because now that juice made my chicken really soft. And
Hmm.
you see what I mean?
You could even
So
use that to make a little sauce if you wanted to.
yeah, yeah. So now I'm gonna put more mushrooms in there. I'm gonna serve that like this. See? Now remember we have the other one also, right? This, and I'm gonna put the shrimps in literally 2 minutes. People are like, I want to see the shrimpies. They're still here.
You could you could just add a little wine and some butter and make a nice
Yeah,
sauce out of that pan.
absolutely. No, it's like, but this is more involved. So I was today the point was to show something quick, 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 easy, easy, easy. Look at that. I made like a whole meal for a week in 45 minutes, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna put them out.
And your work, like I said, your work was all in the prep. You're not standing at a stove. I mean, you are standing there the whole time, but it's not a big deal.
Thank, thank you for noticing. All right, shrimps. Look at that. Done.
Oh, nice.
You know those boils that people do? You know the
Yeah,
shrimp boil? You know that?
yeah, yeah.
I don't need to boil. This is it.
Right, right. Well, it's the same thing. A lot of vegetables, a lot of aromatics, and the shrimp.
Mmm. So I'm gonna add oil to that, guys, a lot, because fresh oil on something that just came out, because I didn't brown it, I
Hmm.
have good flavors, but not like crazy, right? So I'm gonna
Right.
add oil. That's gonna taste really, really good, right? So the way I do it is I'm gonna literally take my oil and drizzle,
Yeah.
just like that.
Which is great because when the food is hot like that, it
Oh
just
my God.
releases all those flavors in the oil and
So people, I'm sorry, but I'm gonna take a picture. That's just the way it is, right?
don't
So
apologize.
I deserve.
Is that you're going to carry that in your wallet?
Can you see the picture of my picture? Ah, nice. Okay, all these meals done. Look at this. So this is great. My bacon here, my chicken with mushroom. I have 4 pieces of chicken, extra bacon and this shrimp. Yep, this is a at least 4 days of food. Yes, the
Very
cost
nice.
is minimal, right? Even though I buy good stuff, minimal. The cost is minimal. My bacon is not the cheap one, but it's not the super expensive. Maybe that's it would be $10 a pound or something.
Something like that. I buy the
And
bacon at Andronico's usually, or I buy the Applewood smoked bacon at the store. Either way, bacon
I
is
got this
good.
one, the hub from Sonoma, Napa. It's pretty cool. I like
Oh,
this one. Pretty nice.
oh,
Really
Hobbs, yeah.
nice. Yeah. There's also another one that I really like, Biller's Farm. Oh my God, that's beautiful. Biller's Farm, beautiful pork. Ow, hot.
Thanks for demonstrating that.
So, okay, the rule. A cold pan and a hot pan look identical
That's
until you
right.
touch them.
Yeah,
And then they look very different.
yeah.
Good job, people. So yeah, man, that's nice. So my lunch is done, my whole dinner and done. So pretty
So
cool,
what time
people, huh?
should we all be over there? We could all come over now, right? We'll bring
Well, it's
wine.
ready. It's too bad you
Uh,
don't drive.
you could serve a lot of people right now with all that.
This I could serve
At
five,
least at least
six,
half a
five.
dozen people.
There's a one, two, three, four. 4, 5.
Well, you figure how many chickens do you how many pieces of chicken do you have? Four?
Four pretty nice, but I have bacon also, so I have a good amount of protein here. So one per person is great. I eat two, but one is good. One. You can do one and a little bit of shrimp, but then you can do something else. You can do some lentils if you like carbs. You can cook a big batch of lentils and put a little bit. That's awesome. See, a
Hmm.
little bit of carbs is actually good. It helps digesting and processing the food, so it's not a bad thing. And then you can put a little bit of everything, and then you can do a salad or a couple of salad. Then you can do a soup, maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
Cool.
Very
All
nice.
right. So we are
Very nice.
actually almost done. So you guys, thank you so much for cooking with us or watch me cook, rather, right?
Thanks for cooking for us. We need to get that new software that the aromatic software so people can actually smell what you're cooking.
Look at that. See? Ooh, pretty cool, huh?
Yeah, that looks good.
All done, everything done. All right, people. We'll see you next week.
Thanks for joining us. We will be
Yes,
back next week.
sir.
We have some good guests coming up in the next few weeks. So we'll keep you posted on
You
that.
keep saying that.
Well, we had a guest last week. We're going to have some more bartenders on. We're going to have some winemakers on. We're going to get some cheesemakers on the show.
We're gonna have a booze maker also. Farid is coming back, right?
Yeah,
Farid.
Farid is going to come back. We'll get
It
him
is
on soon.
he has a beautiful, one of the best alcohol maker in the whole Bay Area.
He does a delicious gin.
Incredible.
Yeah. What's the
Anyway,
name of
all
his
right.
gin? Botanivore.
Yeah, botanical.
Yeah. Anyway,
I
that's
think
all the
that's about-
time we got.
All right. Bye, guys.
Signing off here. Thanks for joining us. See you